Spartans with a 24-7 lead. 3 touchdowns for Case to 3 different receivers in the first half. Michael Wykowski, Chase Whitty, and Colt Morgan. Here's Travis Johnston from the 4 as we get the second half underway. He slips free. A flag flies, but it's a foot race. Johnston has Nordis to beat. Touchdown!
And it looks like it might be coming back. Looks like they probably got somebody for a hold there, and really disappointing. Either way, we got to see Johnson really show off his athleticism, his speed there, and you see kind of the reason that Coach Debelak has him back there. Again, middle linebacker, folks. That is a middle linebacker outrunning the entire kickoff team for Geneva.
And just on a dead
Turn and
sprint,
return.
too.
Holding. 33 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So it's coming back. But gosh, if you just watch the replay in isolation, that was fun.
Yeah. I mean, big, explosive plays, and can't say enough about his versatility and how impressive it is that he's able to do that on a week in and week out basis.
There wasn't a cut or anything there. He just ran straight ahead. Well, so Drew Saxton will take over. Again, he needs 58 more yards to get to 5,000 on his Spartans career. Case not penalized much in that first half, by the way. That is just their second penalty of the ball game. Geneva committed 3 in the first half. Ball spotted at the 22 for Drew and company. Saxton in the first half, 12 of 20. He was 8 of 16 in the second quarter. He loses the football there, and he is promptly dropped by Casey now.
And this is one thing that, it's something to watch going forward the rest of this game. Saxton, he's, for lack of a better word, been bad for the last couple drives. And he knows that. The entire offense knows that. But the mark of, a leader, an All-American caliber quarterback, which he is having a short memory, being able to take a deep breath, get back into his rhythm, and get this offense, back on track. Because everybody else, the other 10 guys that are out there on the field with him, they're looking at him to kind of set the tone for the second half. So important, I guess, test for him from a mental standpoint, and I know he can handle it. I know he's done it before.
Saxton, easy pitch and catch to Colt Morgan. Maybe that's the type of play that you draw up if you're Derek Slesh to give Drew some more confidence. Just get the ball out of his hands to his favorite receiver.
Yeah, Colt Morgan, it's as close to a sure thing as you can have from a receiver perspective. And then, you look out on the field, they have 3 wide on the right, and Saxton's got to feel good about the 3 other guys that he's got out there, Rabana, Chase Whitty, Wykowski, the freshman. So it's a versatile group. I don't think any one of those guys is, similar to the others. I think it's all a unique skill set, and that's what's really been making life easy for Saxton here.
3rd and 7 from the 25. Not much pressure. Saxton has time, now flushed out. Gets rid of it. A little bit too far, looking for Chase Whitty. And it's 4th down.
You can see, as bad as the first half went for Geneva, they come out, they get a 3 and out like that, and they got some juice on the sidelines. They're back into the game. They feel like they at least, have a chance. They have a fighter's chance, and that's all you can ask for. So, looking back, holding penalty on the kickoff of the opening kickoff of the second half kind of negated the big chunk play out of Travis Johnston, and Geneva sticking around.
And speaking of linebackers receiving kicks and punts, Tyler Cann is back for this one. You mentioned Travis Johnston nearly broke off a 96-yard kick return for a touchdown. That punt hits a Geneva foot. It's loose on the turf, and it looked like the Spartans coughed it up. I think Geneva has it. Who's going to come out of the bottom of that pile? The Golden Tornadoes have it. Looks like that's Jacob Roser.
Yeah, I don't know if it's bad luck or lack of execution, whatever, but Spartans, for whatever reason, have had 2 or 3 chances today to hop on a fumble and just haven't been able to, I guess, complete the act of that. So, kind of a funky start, I guess, to the second half is the best way you can put that. And now Geneva, you see Geneva starting off on the plus side of the 50, and, one big play, 1 touchdown here could change the whole game.
What you saw in that replay was 2 Spartans diving at one football, and they knocked it away from each other. Sent to Fonte. Runs into Gabe Dorey and Patrick Crossy on first down. Yeah, a funky start is right. A funky end to the first half, too. 3 interceptions by the Geneva defense in that second quarter. Now, one of those interceptions was just on a prayer home run pass at the end of the half. But 2 interceptions by Brady Corkland, 1 by Tyler Kann. And then a 3 and out at the start of the second half after a negated kickoff return for a touchdown was taken away by a flag. This is Ricky Petrelli on the run on second down. This triple option, the way it's run, you're not looking for 10 plays, 10 yards per play. If you're Gino DeMarco here, that's an okay play to get to 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I would say anytime they can keep it to under 3rd and 6, under 3rd and 7, that's going to be ideal for them. And something to keep in mind going forward is seeing Isaac Gibbs not in the game for this series. Looks like he's testing out, lower body injury on the sidelines.
The pitch is behind Monteleone. He's able to reel it in, but he won't get the first down. Doesn't get much at all to the 41. So 4th down. We'll see if they keep the offense on the field here in kind of no man's land territory. It looks like they will. Remember, Amos Luptak, their starting quarterback, Justin Lawfrey, their starting running back, are out already. So they are already bruised. That combination accounts for 177 rushes and 853 yards, plus 9 rushing touchdowns and 2 through the air. They're missing this week, and Gibbs, the freshman, who had been their lead carrier today, is now out for this series. That ball's intercepted. Kevin Chrisis is off and running, and the Spartans have the ball again.
And that's the exact problem that we talked about. Geneva's going to have to come out, and they need to make up this deficit quickly. They need to find a way to do it, and to do that, they got to try and throw the ball. And then you run into guys like Kevin Chrisis, and I know every game that I've done here, he's managed to come up and make a play like that, and he's under the radar. You won't hear his name a whole lot, won't really see him involved in the game, and then he'll make a play like that and kind of remind you that, oh, that guy's been starting for 3 years. He's a veteran on the defense, and he knows exactly what he's doing out there.
A huge interception last week for Chrisis. He now has 3 on the year and 7 in his Spartans career.
Kid's got a nose for the ball.
Saxton back to work. Hand off to Zach Hall. And in plus territory, the Spartans can safely keep the ball on the ground for a couple plays here. Eat away a little bit of clock. Make things maybe a little bit easier on Drew Saxton. It's a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3.
Yeah, a little quieter day for the running attack. It's a two-headed monster back there between Zach Hall, Donald Day. Coming in, they each had over 60 attempts, pretty balanced between the two of them. But, obviously in the first half, it was more Drew Saxton, the receiving core, kind of lighten things up out there. I would think, with this lead and trying to run the clock out, Zach Hall is going to get a pretty good amount of rushes in the second half.
And Hall gets out to the 25 for a first down. By the way, Drew Saxton now is 49 passing yards shy of 5,000 on his career. He has 3 consecutive 300-plus yard passing games. Had 3 receivers last week with 100-plus yards each. Rabina, Woody, and Morgan spreading the ball around well. They've kept it on the ground so far in this drive. And now they'll play action. Pass is tipped and nearly intercepted. Tyler Kann thought he had number 2 on the day.
I don't know if I'm surprised or impressed, but we knew coming in that Kann was going to be an athlete. He's going to be, playing a huge role in the pass defense for Geneva, and he's done exactly that. He's already has an interception, almost got another one there, so can't say enough about how impressive he's been in coverage today.
Outside linebacker, extremely athletic.
Extremely great hair.
Extremely great hair. That is your favorite headshot of all time, I think. With the lettuce flowing down to the shoulders and the mustache.
Nothing quite like the linebacker. It's got the war paint on the face and the mane coming out the backside.
He knew when picture day was.
Oh, yeah.
Saxton with a pitch out to the right. That's a first down. Yeah, just give it up to Colt Morgan. That'll work.
And I think at this point, it's still at a point in the game where Coach Deblek's got the playbook wide open. He's not at all, just looking to run the clock out. He wants to see Saxon get some confidence back and, really start moving the ball through the air. It's similar to how they did in the first half.
3 wide. Colt Morgan at the bottom of your screen on 1st and goal from the 9 for the sophomore Drew Saxton. Stretch handoff. Zach Hall inside the 5. Spotted down around the 4.
That was maybe one of the better runs from an offensive line perspective. You see here on the replay, they're getting up to the second level, getting bodies on the linebackers, and Hall not even touched until he's 5 or 6 yards downfield. So it's a veteran group up front for the Spartans. They have good size across the board. They know how to execute, and when you couple that with Saxon and then the other weapons that they have, it can really cause problems.
You got a good look on that replay at the senior left guard Chase Strayer, who has played all across this offensive line in his time with the Spartans, getting a good push to help Zach Hall pick up 5 yards.
And the Wildcat formation here, you have Mason Montgomery in at quarterback there with Turkowski to his left.
Here's MGM, looking to keep, slips free, and in for 6.
Yeah, he's another one where, kind of gone through a position change. Traditionally, he's a high school quarterback, and he's seen a little time on defense as a safety. He's seen time on offense, and Coach Deblek finding ways to keep his best players involved and putting points on the scoreboard.
Mason G. Montgomery makes it 30-7 Spartans, breaking 2 tackles on that short 4-yard scamper. Now Robertson Albrecht has his PAT blocked, and it's run the other way on a foot race to the end zone. This is Ryan Signorella. He's in.
That's frustrating. It's just it's an execution thing on extra points. It's not necessarily anything the defense does. It's just the offense not being able to, stay tactically sound. So disappointing end of the drive. At the end of the day, it's only 2 points, and Case Western's got to be happy with the offensive drive there. Seeing Saxon able to get back on track. Mason G. Montgomery kind of finishing things off there at the end. So 30-9, we keep saying the Case is they're going to have to focus on execution all throughout the day, and that at this point, if it's not from a winning perspective, it's just for a confidence and kind of a momentum and rhythm type thing at this point.
Now for Robertson Albrecht, that is the first missed PAT he's had this year, and just the second in his career that he has missed. That was attempt number 81 on his Spartans career. It's now 79 of 81, but the Spartans with a 30-9 lead as MGM goes in on the Wildcat for the touchdown. About halfway through the third quarter. Second half presented by Dave's Cosmic Subs. Case at 6-0 on the year, 5-0 in the PAC. Controlling their own PAC title destiny. 2 wins in their last 4 will net them the PAC title, at least a share of it, and 3 in their last 4 will give them their first PAC title outright, as Gino Mavero takes that kick return out near the 30, and Geneva will set up shop once again with the triple option.
I'm looking around, mentioning the PAC, some other scores for you. Fourth quarter, Waynesburg is up 17-14 on St. Vincent College. And we also have Carnegie Mellon picking up a big win today over Teal, I believe. So, we talked earlier about it. It's kind of nice. It's a little different this year that Case Western is not necessarily scoreboard watching. They, at this point still control their own destiny as far as the conference goes. And then if you look bigger picture, there's also playoffs. And at this point, they're in a pretty darn good position to host a playoff game also, which would, be a big accomplishment for this program.
Late pitch by Tefelsky there. And it didn't look like Centofanti was ready for it, but he did fall on it, stopping Luke Bedell from recovering a fumble. Yeah, Case now in maybe the best position they've been in since joining the President's Athletic Conference to host an NCAA playoff game. They got to take care of business. Petrelli on the handoff. Still no Isaac Gibbs out there, which has to be disheartening for this Geneva offense. We mentioned the absences of Amos Luptak, injured 2 weeks ago, and Justin Lawfrey, injured 3 weeks ago. Two of the top rushers in the conference and the two leading rushers for Geneva running this triple option. And now Gibbs, who was set to inherit most of those rushing duties and was for most of today, hits the sideline. So Petrelli takes over. It's going to be, it looks like, Petrelli and Santafanti getting the bulk of the carries now, followed by Nick Monteleone. This sets up 3rd and 2.
Rain's starting to come down a little more, getting a little heavier, and it's kind of just been a constant annoying thing throughout the day. But, we've seen several balls on the turf, at least from the Geneva perspective, and like we mentioned at the start, it can really be a hindrance to this triple option offense, which is with as many exchanges as they have.
Tefelsky will keep this one and knife his way across to the 45 for a first down into enemy territory. Speaking of turnovers, because both of these teams have made such a habit of keeping the football, Geneva is first in the conference, Case is second in the conference in time of possession, we figured that either team turning the ball over would be detrimental to them because you lose a whole chunk of time on offense and put your defense in worse position than usual given how much time both these offenses spend on the field. Monteleone will get a first down here. But because there have been so many turnovers on both sides, it's kind of been a wash.
Yeah, it was, as ugly as a end to a half that you could ever imagine was that first half. It really kind of sputtered. It was kind of a rock fight. There's throwing the ball back and forth and waiting for one of the other offenses to take over and do something with it. So a little better here in the second half. And, if you're Greg Dabalak, you have to find a way to keep your team into this. Again, it all comes back to building momentum, and there's bigger goals for this team than just today. And, obviously game's not over, but they're in a really strong position to come out of here with a win. And, even if it gets down to the end and they start putting in some of the backups and some of the younger guys, this is important. It's important for an experience mindset. It's also important from a perception mindset as this team looks to get into a postseason position.
For all the balls that have been on the turf, by the way, nobody's lost a fumble. Geneva has 4 fumbles, none of them lost. Spartans don't have a fumble, period. But there have been 5 interceptions. Case has 3 interceptions, and they have been intercepted. Case has 2 interceptions. They've been intercepted 3 times. Here's Tefelsky, cutting inside the 10 and dragged down finally by Michael Amadio at the 5.
It's probably Tefelsky's best run of the day, and showing an ability to break a tackle. And as with any good rushing attack, if you can break one, then you're really going to be in business. And that's, from a defensive perspective, that's what you can't have happen. You need to have multiple hats on the ball and wrapping guys up and just find a way to get them on the turf.
A touchdown here really puts the pressure on Case's offense, either to score or to eat up a ton of clock.
Wow.
They give to Monteleone, and that happened quickly. He went down right after he got the football, and good on him to hang on to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the issue is Cam Brown can completely shut a play down before you even know what's going on. So they tried to come with a quick hitter and almost avoid Cam Brown and get a pass before he knew what was coming at him, but he's just having none of it on that one.
Defensive line usually doesn't have a whole lot to say against a triple option, but Cam Brown is not your average defensive lineman. Johnston and Lease on that stop to set up 3rd down. And goal from the 3. 4 down territory here for Geneva?
Yeah, I would think it has to be, especially, down 30-9. Normally you're not going to kick a field goal in this situation. There's been times where they've been able to move the ball. They've been able to get 4 yards pretty much whenever they want. So solid drive here, but again, it all comes down to points. Are they going to be able to find a way to get it in the end zone here and kind of get back into this game a little bit?
Tefelsky under center. 3rd and goal from the 3. To the up man, Petrelli, pushing his way ahead and across the goal line. Flags fly after the fact. And Spartan arms are outstretched. It seems to be on Case. Greg Gompf, our head referee.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Case Western number 20. Geneva has elected to have that penalty enforced on the succeeding kickoff. That is number 20's first unsportsmanlike contest for the game.
Kevin Chris is called for unsportsmanlike conduct, and maybe a representation of how the Spartans team has been frustrated today. And a little bit 2 weeks in a row. They were frustrated defensively last week because they didn't get a sack against St. Vincent. Second time that's been the case this year. And now Daniel Nordis makes it a ball game. Another Geneva touchdown. This one by Ricky Petrelli. And Case now up 30-16 with 3:03 left in the third. For Petrelli, second touchdown of the year. The freshman out of Elwood City, Pennsylvania.
We'll see with the penalty. Geneva elected to take it on the kickoff, then will move the ball up. And there's, I guess, two schools of thought when you have a shorter kickoff like this. You'll see some coaches that just tell the kicker to boot it out of the back of the end zone by a mile. And then there's other times where you try and pop it up and kind of have it nestle inside the 10, hopefully inside the 5-yard line. And it can really put the return team in kind of a hole as far as field position goes.
A 2-touchdown game. Still not at the end of the third quarter. If Geneva gets a stop here, they have a real opportunity to put the heat on Case.
Yeah, we've been saying it all day. Geneva's just looking to hang around. And then when you combine kind of the funky offense with maybe a little tougher day weather-wise, if they're hanging around and they're in this game, all it takes is one or two wacky plays, and then you can kind of have a closer game than Case Western, maybe even Geneva expected at the beginning.
This game at times has been as ugly as the weather. And Andrew Rossman, you predicted one of the choices that Geneva College elected for. Daniel Nordis kicking it right through the end zone and no chance for a return. Probably the smart thing to do after Travis Johnston broke off a 96-yard run last time that, again, if you weren't with us at the time, was negated due to a penalty. Otherwise, we're talking about a completely different game here.
Yeah. Well, this is another chance for the Geneva defense to kind of step up and see if they can affect Saxon. It hasn't necessarily been from a pass rush perspective today. They haven't really gotten hands on Saxon. He's just been kind of misfiring, and see if that's something that continues here.
Donald Day III just barely tripped up by an arm tackle at the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Dakota Allen, the sophomore. Just got his left arm wrapped around Daniel's knee.
Yeah,
Second and 7.
I think Allen's going to be a pretty solid player for Geneva going forward. Mentioned sophomore, had significant playing last year, and he's been a pretty solid contributor. There he is with another tackle on that play. So, similar to how Case Western's receivers, we said they're totally different. They all bring something different. You can look out there and see Geneva's, linebacker core is pretty versatile too. They have, a couple that are more run-oriented, and then talked about Can plenty. He's, the ball hawk out there with, it seems like, 1 million interceptions on his career. So it's a solid defense. I think the one issue is they haven't been able to cover Case Western's receivers all the way through the end of a play, and they've kind of gotten burned on that, especially in the first half.
3rd and 2 now from the 33. And a pivotal play for the Geneva defense. Day, patient running, stumbles his way ahead. The marker is right at the line to gain.
That was a really impressive run by Day. It looked like there was about 3 instances where he was down and then he kept going and just showing good balance, good effort to find his way, across the first down marker.
Good grief. Second and third effort for Day, who was parallel to the ground with his knee inches from it and gets the first. That is a huge pickup on third down. Now it's Zach Hall. Tyler Can got in there. That's a tackle for a loss of 1.
A little surprised that they're running it as much as they have. Now, granted, Saxon had 3 interceptions in the first half, but it's not like they weren't, effective, and we saw it a little earlier here in the second half. It's the passes, the passing offense is there. They have the weapons, so not sure if Coach Debelak's really making an effort to burn the clock, but just been a little tough sledding here with some of the Russian attack here.
4 wide, Hall the lone man in the backfield. As you get a look across the 3 wide receivers on the near side, Wykowski, Whitty, and Rabina. Saxton to the near side, Whitty juggles! Geneva thinks they picked it off. It's incomplete, and Tyler Can wants a second opinion. Derek Sneed, Tyler Can, and Gary Weaver were all there. Here's another look.
There's a tight window, and to Saxon's credit, he fit it in there. It just Whitty not able to make the tough catch at the end. You can see the ball hit the ground there. So 3rd and long for the Spartans. Again, it seems probably more important than people are giving it credit for. It's only a 14-point game here in the 3rd quarter, and Geneva gets this stop, and you'll really start seeing their sideline kind of get a little buzz to them, a little jump in their step.
They converted on 3rd and 2 earlier this drive. Saxton batted away. Clean play, no flag, 4th down. Brady Corkland in coverage on the far sideline.
Credit to Corkland, he had a tough first half, gave up, I think, 2 touchdowns directly you could attribute to him, and showing the signs of being a good defensive back. You got to forget about it and come out make plays later in the game. And like I said, 14-point game. Geneva's getting the ball back here. It's probably a lot closer than people expected, or that Coach Debelak would have wanted. And if you're Geneva, this is exactly what you wanted the second half to go like.
The punt by Albrecht is another low-line drive. Last time he hit a Geneva foot, and this one goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So Corkland has been responsible for those 2 touchdowns, but he also has 2 interceptions in this game. And now he has that big breakup on 3rd and 11. Credit to this defensive backfield for Geneva, because we talked earlier in this ball game about how there was a matchup problem there. Case has much bigger receivers, especially Colt Morgan. Pretty small defensive backs for Geneva, and they have made life very difficult as they've been glued to the Case wideouts today. Tefelsky will keep this, and he won't keep it very long. Josh Smith was there.
The longer that this game goes on and is close, I would say two-score game or closer, my thought is that it always favors the underdog, because they feel like they're playing, got nothing to lose. They can start feeling the energy. They start to believe a little bit, and then creeps into the mind of in this case, the Spartans, like, oh, this is a lot closer than it should be.
End of the 3rd quarter.
So at the end of 3, Case and Geneva in a tight one. Spartans 30, Golden Tornadoes 16.
With 31 unique creations to choose from, there's something for everyone to love at Dave's Cosmic Subs. Meat lovers, vegetarians, and everyone in between agree that our freshly baked bread, high-quality ingredients, and homemade sauces make us the best in Cleveland. Come on into Dave's Cosmic Subs Coventry to experience legendary subs in a cosmic atmosphere. And don't forget, we deliver. It's as easy as dialing 216-320-0330. Be the hit of the party. Order Dave's.
Spartans 30, Geneva 16, 2nd and 8 for Geneva on the 42. Golden Tornadoes with a real opportunity here. As we get a look at Gino DeMarco, head coach of the Golden Tornadoes, in his 27th year at the helm. Hand off to Petrelli. First down, spinning away from tackles. And out past midfield.
Telling you, the longer this game goes on, Geneva's going to continue gaining confidence. And it seems like their offensive line has actually gotten better as the days has gone on as well. And At this point, Case Western has seen, I would say, almost every play that Geneva's going to run at them. It's not a super in-depth playbook. It's just kind of a small set of plays that they execute really well. And, at this point, Case has just got to remain disciplined, get back to what they were doing in the first half, and just kind of choke this game out.
Tefelsky with a little pitch. Spartans thought that was forward. That'll bring up second down. Big thanks to our great crew once again. Brian Trail, Shayna Perlman, Brian Landers on replay. The man who makes it all happen, Mike Becker, directing us today. Andrew Rossman, Andrew Luftglass doing our best to listen to Mike. 14 minutes left in the fourth. 30-16 Spartans. 2nd and 10. Petrelli. Quick handoff, lots of room. It's a foot race. Petrelli run down at about the 15.
Petrelli showing he can step in, and that's what's kind of unique about this offense is they have about 4 or 5 guys, and you can say, well, I've never heard of that guy, and then he comes in and he rips off a 20-yard run. So impressive for the offense that they can kind of plug guys in and doesn't really slow stuff down. And I mean, you look up, if they're able to get points on the scoreboard here, it's going to be less than a 2-score game, and they're absolutely in it.
Looks like they're calling him out of bounds before he was dragged down. He's going to get the spot at the 22, and credit to Adam Poltrak, the 6'6", 230-pounder, for chasing down Ricky Petrelli. Petrelli's 5'11", 195. Tefelsky, late pitch, right into the arms of Centofanti. That's a heck of a pitch. Josh Smith gets him down. Nice play by Tefelsky here to get rid of it.
Yeah, if you think of, you can think of other big-name option quarterbacks as, Scott Frost, head coach in Nebraska. That was one of his deals, is you thought you had him down, wrapped up. There could be 2 or 3 guys. His knee could be a centimeter off the ground, then he's going to pop that ball out and pitch it just like Tefelsky was able to there. So play's never over till you get him down, and, impressed with how Geneva's been able to keep this drive moving, and they seem to stay ahead of the chains here.
2nd and 6. Another pitch to Centofanti. Slices inside the 5 for a first down. Tefelsky makes these decisions so quick and so effectively. He's so tough to read.
The interesting thing is, on this drive, it seems like probably the last 4 or 5 plays they've run into the boundary. A lot of times when you think of running the option, you're going to want to go to the wide side of the field and spread it out and have more room to operate, but they've seen something. They've figured out something in the Case Western defense where they really like going to that short side of the field.
We mentioned Tefelsky, the freshman, taking over for the injured starter Amos Luptak. The good news for Gino DeMarco is that Tefelsky ran the triple option in high school, so he's used to this. Petrelli going nowhere on 1st and goal from the 3.
And if you're Case Western, getting a field goal or even a field goal attempt out of this drive, that would be a huge, huge win. Just need to find a way to do whatever it takes to keep this Geneva offense out of the end zone.
And the Golden Tornadoes will try to make this a 1-touchdown game. 2nd and goal from the 3. Tefelsky will keep it, and he'll get knocked down immediately.
Travis Johnson stepping up. And sometimes on these drives, that's what needs to happen. You need to have your leaders, your experienced leaders in the middle of that defense kind of say, all right, enough is enough, and, pretty much just kill all momentum with a play like that. So going to 3rd down, I would be shocked if Geneva's not considering this 4-down territory. So if you look at it, they have 2 plays to get 3 yards here.
Johnston going mano a mano with Frankie Centofanti. Running back lead blocking on Travis Johnston. Travis is going to win that battle more often than not. This is Petrelli. No, they'll pitch it. Centofanti, touchdown, and it's a 1-score game.
Yeah, just good, solid execution, and that's what the triple option offense looks like when it's really humming along. So Tefelsky kind of getting in a groove here in the second half, and like we said, it's first half it was Gibbs from the running back position, and now it's really been the whole running back room has contributed to this mini comeback that they've mounted.
30-22 Case. Nordis, and it's a 7-point game. Great drive by Geneva at the start of this fourth quarter, presented by Innova. And Case hanging on for dear life for a second week in a row. They lead Geneva 30-23.
Intercontinental Suites has been transformed into much more than a hotel. It is a center of wellness and tranquility, featuring renovated suites, an expanded fitness center, and pure rooms for guests requiring the most allergen-resistant rooms on the market. C2, our Mediterranean-style restaurant and bar, accentuates the ambiance of relaxation and rejuvenation. Chef Omar Jones has designed a menu full of fresh, locally grown herbs and vegetables, along with a flavorful cuisine inspired by the beneficial Mediterranean diet. Call the Intercontinental today at 216-707-4300 or visit us at hotelsclevelandclinic.com or on Facebook.
Frankie Centofanti into the end zone for Geneva on just a fantastically run surgical triple option drive for the Golden Tornadoes to make it a one-touchdown game. Andrew Luftglass, Andrew Rossman with you in the booth tonight on a rainy day from Cleveland. The Spartans at 6-0, number 21 in the country according to D3Football.com, number 17 in the country according to the AFCA poll. Meanwhile, Geneva coming off of back-to-back losses, but they are fighting hard on the road. Travis Johnston on the high arcing kick. There's already a flag flying. There's a second. Johnston somehow still on his feet out past the 40. This one is likely to come back, though. Just like his 96-yard run into the end zone earlier today.
Shout out to Mason G. Montgomery, finding himself getting a little pancake on the kick return action. And I don't know, it seems like Case has 3 or 4 of those guys where you can give them the ball, they can make a tackle, they can block, and it's really a testament to the type of athlete that Coach Deblack is able to recruit to Case.
So an illegal block on the return, and Case only up by 1 touchdown in a disadvantageous position here, backed up deep inside their own territory at the 14-yard line.
And this is the drive of the game. This is going to dictate how the rest of the fourth quarter goes. Case is able to get on the board, then maybe they can kind of get back into a rhythm and reassert themselves in this game. If not, if they go 3 and out again, then Geneva is really going to feel like they're in this game and have a good chance of winning.
Can gets to Saxton, but he escapes. Drews slides safely for a gain of 1 or 2. And that's a win for Drew Saxton and the Spartans.
And a little hidden part right at the end, you'll see here on the replay, Saxton's going to slide and he's going to keep himself in bounds. And right now with 10 minutes left, that might not seem like a big deal, but that's going to allow the clock to run off another 25, 30 seconds. So smart play by Saxton. And originally you look at the beginning of that, Can had really pretty much a clean shot on him, just wasn't able to get him on the ground.
Those are 2 athletes finding themselves face to face, and Drew Saxton won that little battle. 10 minutes left in regulation. Case up 30-23 over Geneva. Saxton, quick look. Colt Morgan out to the 20. Needs to get to the 24 for a first down. So this will bring up 3rd. Third and 4. They'll spot it at the 20. Donald Day, the 3rd in the backfield. There's Colt Morgan, the top target. 2 touchdowns away from tying the Case career receiving touchdown record. He has 29 and 1 today. Whitty at the sticks, caught for a first down.
It's a big-time catch out of Chase Whitty. Knew he was going to take a hit, the defender, the corner coming up behind him, and really, really nice job being able to hang on to the football and move the chains. And even if this drive doesn't end with points for the Spartans, being able to move the chains and get at least one first down is huge from a clock perspective, from a rest for the defense perspective, just all around. That's really a big play that might not seem like it.
Ryan Signorella, who returned a blocked PAT the other way for a couple points with the big hit there, and Whitty hangs on. 4 wide. They'll roll out for Morgan. Shifts away from one tackle. Got away from Brady Corkland, and then Tyler Can took him down. This is going to be the formula, it seems, for the Spartans as they pick up a first down. Just get the ball to Colt Morgan as quickly as you can.
Yeah, that play's been there all day. I mean, if I'm a defensive back, I'm not necessarily concerned about Colt catching a 4 or 5 yard speed out like that. I'm worried about the big playability. So you got to give up something with Colt Morgan. It's probably in your best interest to allow him to roam kind of underneath.
Colt is 6'5". Corkland, who's on him, is 5'10". There's always a matchup problem with Colt Morgan. Stretch handoff for Day. Cuts it back the other way and fights his way past the 40, taken down by Dakota Allen.
Yeah, Day's shown a pretty good ability. You see kind of that zone blocking scheme, that stretch run. They'll run it both directions, but he's pretty adept at, being patient, letting his linemen get into the bodies of the defenders, and then kind of cutting back across the grain like you saw him do there.
We had Steve Bocci on the broadcast the first home game of the year, and he was saying that Donald didn't always run exactly where the play was drawn up, but he found the hole.
Yeah, well, Steve's a little biased, and linemen always think they know where the hole is. So.
Colt Morgan gets that one out to the 45, but it does speak to his vision, and a good job to set up Case with a first down. Now Morgan's close to a first.
Timeout.
And a timeout on the field for an injury. We can't really get a good look at who that is down there. I don't know if you saw, Andrew.
Not really sure. Kind of covered up at this point.
The crowd of Spartans huddled around that near sideline. 3rd and 1. Case will have the ball on the 45. That was Colt Morgan, who's buzzing a little bit now on the sideline and probably will be out this play. Spartans hope that he is healthy enough to not be out much longer. We just finished talking about what a matchup problem he is, how wide open he is. Now it's 3rd and 1 from the 45. Donald's in the backfield again.
Brett Carney in that H-back spot kind of at the bottom of your screen. I know they've leaked him out, and that's a big part of Coach Debelak's offense.
Now Carney in motion. Day on the give. There's a wall of gold, and Geneva thinks they have the stop. It certainly appears that way, and the spot will have him short to bring up 4th down and 1.
Now it's decision time. Looks like Coach Debelak's going to punting unit. Yep, they're going to kick it away. So he's going to put the ball, or put the game, I guess, in the hands of his defense. And if you're Geneva, it's go time. This is what you wanted. You got the 17th or 21st ranked team in the country, depending on where you looked. And I mean, this is what you want. 4th quarter, 1-score game. Our offense has been moving the ball and been productive here in the second half. So this is exactly how they drew it up.
Looks like Case wants to go with max pressure on this punt too. Another line drive from Albrecht. Case will get a friendly roll. It'll be downed at about the 12-yard line. So not an ideal drive. Some minutes bled off the clock. But Case up by 1, 5:52 left. Now, as you mentioned, Andrew, putting the game in the hands of their defense. What are you expecting from Geneva here? They have some time running the triple option. We've seen them throw a little bit. Do they keep the ball on the ground, or do they give Tefelsky license to throw?
I think they stick to what they've been doing. I don't see any reason that they should be, trying to light it up through the air, especially with, the weather conditions and their ability to run the ball so far in the second half. So I would expect business as usual, and if you're Case, you just need to buckle up. It doesn't matter what's happened to this point. It doesn't matter how the second half's gone. All you're focused on right now is getting the ball out of this Geneva offense's hands.
1 yard gain there, 2nd and 9 from the 12-yard line. The punt was spotted at the 11. Geneva in its 4th year running the triple option under 27th year head coach Gino DeMarco, who graduated from this school in 1984. They'll pitch right side and there's nothing there. We mentioned Geneva ran the air raid before, and when they decided they wanted to go to the triple option, Gino DeMarco had a pretty good friend who was in position to help. His old buddy Mike Seawalk, with whom he was a graduate assistant at Georgia Tech in 1984, was Paul Johnson's right-hand man at Georgia Tech years after when they were running the triple option. And Gino called Mike when Gino wanted to install that system here at Geneva a few years ago. Tefelsky on the pitch. Nothing doing. Gabe Dorey, the freshman, was there, and it's 4th down.
Been pretty impressed with Dory's ability to step in for the injured Nick Katalesic today, and had an interception. He's definitely had his fair share of tackles, so impressive to see it. Not really surprising with this defense. That's how Coach Miller coaches it. It's next man up mentality.
And as the rain starts to thicken at DeSanto Field, the Spartans will have about 4 minutes with the football, up by 1 touchdown. Luke Lloyd on the punt. Had some pressure. Mario Rabina will fair catch it just inside his own territory. 3:54 to go in regulation. Luke Lloyd taking his time on this punt. And I think you would say a fairly conservative decision there by Adam Poltrak not to dive at the feet of the punter and risk a penalty. Just put the heat on the wide receiver / punter to get off a good one.
Yeah, now the Case Western offense is back out there, and we're going to see them go into their 4-minute drill. Everyone talks about the 2-minute drill, but most teams also have a 4-minute one for exactly this situation. Run the clock out. It's not necessarily going to be a 100% run. You'll see some passes. If they do go to the air, it'll probably be a little more conservative, not as many shots, but just look at keep the clock running, move the chains any way possible.
Zach Hall spills the football. Geneva has it.
Wow. Great play by Geneva's defense. You can see Hall was maybe a foot off the ground, and the defender was able to rip the ball out. And that's a game-changing play. Now 3:46 on the clock, and Geneva's got another crack at it.
On the field was the ball was fumbled by, recovered by Geneva. 1st down.
There's the rip. And how about that? It's Brady Corkland. The ball was eventually recovered by Casey Now, but Corkland, who we mentioned before, had been the guy Case targeted twice. The first 2 Spartan touchdowns through the air were in his direction. Corkland has since come up with 2 interceptions, a big pass breakup on 3rd down, and now a strip to turn the ball over. They'll give it to the up man, Petrelli. No, they'll keep it with Tefelsky. That's the trick of the triple option. 2nd and 7 after a gain of 3. You look at the time on the clock in a 1-score game with this triple option. Both teams have 3 timeouts left, and it feels like this could come down to the ball inside the 10 in the waning seconds. Petrelli has it, stacked up. Waiters and Crossy there. So was Andrew Lease. And we have an
Timeout
injured Spartan on the field.
For injury.
It's like Adam Poltrak is down for the Spartans. One thing I keep coming back to is the blocked extra point that Geneva was able to return for 2 points earlier. And you think about that, it's a 3-point swing. And got it down to where we are now. 1-score game. Touchdown here by Geneva is going to tie it. And they got a long way to go. But if they get the ball in the end zone, then it's going to be decision time for the Golden Tornadoes. Are they going to go for one, or are they going to go for two? And, try and, I guess, hop in front of this Case Western team while they have the chance.
And this, for the Spartans, feels eerily similar to last week when they were leading by 8 late in the game on the road at St. Vincent. And it came down to the Bearcats driving deep in Case territory before Kevin Chris's picked off Lorenzo Cota backed up on his own goal line with 5 seconds left to ice it. Adam Poltrak is now standing up, holding his right arm and walking off the field on the near sideline as you get a look at Gino DeMarco leading this Geneva College team. Gino, a Cleveland guy, went to Baldwin Wallace before transferring to Geneva as a student. And played high school baseball with Terry Francona. Said he pinch ran for Tito in high school. Big 3rd and 7 here. Tefelsky looking to keep, nowhere to go, wrapped up. A trio of Navy shirts led by Jack Baker. Travis Johnston was there too, so was Skylar Waiters.
Timeout.
And it's 4th down.
Geneva, they're first of the half.
That's a
Please
huge.
reset the game clock to 2-4-4. 2-4-4.
4th and 12 with 2:41 left. This would be a momentous stop after Zach Hall coughed up the football near midfield. The Spartans have an opportunity to take the ball right back.
At least initially, it looks like Geneva's going to send their offense back out. Personally, I would almost kick the ball away, play field position. You have 3 timeouts. Your defense has been, more than capable this second half. So we'll see, especially being a triple option offense, 4th and 12. It's daunting, and they probably only have 3 or 4 plays in their playbook that are kind of equipped for this situation. So offense back on the field. We'll see what Tefelsky's able to come up with.
And with the rain coming down, this is going to be very difficult for either offense to move the football. 2:44 left after they reset the game clock, 3 seconds. Tefelsky fumbles the snap, flushed out. Cam Brown able to wrap his arm around Tefelsky, who looked like he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and this play was doomed from the beginning. Anytime you have a bad snap situation like that, it's going to throw the timing and get the quarterback off schedule like that. And Case Western's defense able to stand up. They were up to the task, and now it's back in the offense's hands. Are they going to be able to run this clock out? Are they going to be able to seal this win? And that's really the mark of a championship team, is being able to close stuff like this out.
So turnover on downs. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts. 2:37 to go. Saxton from the Geneva 48-yard line with Day in the backfield and 3 wide on the far side. Stretch run. Donald Day the third. Dragged down after a good gain. 5 yards.
Timeout.
And there's
Geneva.
your first timeout by
They're
Geneva.
second of the half.
Unsurprisingly.
So Case Western the rest of the way out, there's going to be, I guess, 2 major things for them to do to close out this win. They need to, first and foremost, secure the football. Can't have a fumble here, can't have another turnover. And then the second thing is they need to stay in bounds. Keep that clock running, force Geneva to use their timeouts, and then get out of here with a win.
So 2nd and 5 from the 43. Imperative to protect the football. It should go without saying, but that has been an issue today. Case has been intercepted 3 times. They have 2 interceptions of their own. The Spartans lost 1 crucial fumble moments ago that didn't hurt them. Geneva has 4 fumbles. They haven't lost a single one. It's been a sloppy day, both in terms of the play on the field and the weather. And Case trying to remain undefeated and put themselves in a position to win a share of the PAC title next week. They got to hang on here, then they get Bethany on Senior Day next week. Donald Day the third on 2nd and 5. Spins away from a tackle. It'll set up 3rd down. Chew some more clock, but not a whole lot because Geneva's going to call a timeout
Their
again.
3rd and final of the half.
That's the last Geneva timeout. 2:23 left.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Case, it's almost, one first down is going to win you this football game. And Coach Debelak, I'm pretty sure, is looking at this as 4-down territory, given their spot on the field and given kind of, the significance of this next first down. So 2 plays, got to get 4 yards, going to trust in that veteran offensive line and your running backs to get the job done.
So it is going to be Donald Day the third out there. Brett Carney's there as well. In that H-back spot. Rabina the inside receiver. Colt Morgan out wide. 3rd and 4 from the 42. 2:23 left as Case tries to hang on to go to 7-0. Back-to-back scary weeks for the Spartans. Won by 8 at St. Vincent a week ago. Leading by 7 at home against Geneva this afternoon. Whistle.
Timeout. Case. Their 1st of the half.
Okay, so Case has called its first timeout.
At this point, I would be shocked if Coach Debelak goes to the air. If he does, it'll be some, high percentage completion, something short, something intermediate, and whatever they need to do to keep the clock running, keep it in bounds. And like we said, the game kind of comes down to this. It's either going to be Case Western gets first down and then they can kind of run the clock out, or they get stuffed and then Geneva's going to have another chance here at tying the game up.
From the second play of this game, almost nothing about today has been as expected. Starting with Geneva, who runs the triple option, getting a quick 71-yard strike on play number 2 from scrimmage on a run by Isaac Gibbs. The second quarter is when it started to go off the rails. Now a big 3rd and 4. Day is tripped up in the backfield. It's 4th down. Geneva can't stop the clock, so it'll tick down to about 140 or so here.
See the tremendous play by Tyler Can. Senior leadership stepping up. He's had a huge day today. He's been exactly as advertised, and Case has forced the punt. With that loss of yardage, if they would have gotten 1 or 2 yards and it was maybe 4th and 3, 4th and 4, they would have considered going for it. But at this point, trusting the defense and kick the ball away.
We'll get a timeout.
Case.
So Case,
their 2nd of the half,
takes another timeout. They have 1 left. Geneva has none left. They'll just blow it dead with 1:45 remaining in regulation.
So 1:49.
Check that. Greg Gompf, our head referee today, making sure that we're all aware. 4 more seconds on the clock. Robertson Albrecht setting up shop at his own 40. We've seen nothing but line drive punts from him so far. Tyler Can is backing up to his own 18 to receive this.
Oh, someone moved. Saw Geneva defender kind of flinched or jumped, and then the Case Western player reacted. So we'll see who the refs decide to call this one on.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 48, 5-yard penalty, 4th down. 1-4-9.
So now Albrecht back to his own 35.
Looks like they've moved Can up a little closer than he's been in the past, just because of the short line drive kicks that Albrecht's been pulling out throughout the day.
Now this is a high arcer. Can walks under it and leveled by Gabe Dorey. By the way, again, I doubt that, as you mentioned, Andrew, that Case will throw the football anymore today if they get the ball back at all. But Drew Saxton is now 9 yards away from 5,000 on his career. Just something to keep an eye on in case Case gets the ball again at all this afternoon. Geneva with an opportunity to tie this football game. Stepping up and throwing is Luke Lloyd. It's intercepted. Josh Smith slides safely at the 50, and the Spartans should escape.
And that'll do it. That should do it. Really impressed by Josh Smith there. He's, highly publicized, one of the top sack guys in the entire country after kind of undergoing a position switch, and shows you he's still got the skill, he's still got the safety instincts back there. So great job in coverage, and that's a big-time play. You could see all the momentum had kind of shifted to Geneva, and they get forced in these passing situations, and it's not something that they're very equipped to do.
We mentioned earlier today, as Drew Saxton gets set up in victory formation with Geneva holding no more timeouts, that with the triple option offense, Greg Debelak wanted to put Josh Smith, a linebacker, about 5 yards behind the linebackers, kind of close to his old role as a safety, to give him unfettered running room, so nobody was able to get to him. He could run free and wreak havoc. Well, maybe not exactly the way we expected him to impact this football game, but as the Golden Tornadoes go to Luke Lloyd, one of their wide receivers who had thrown 3 passes earlier this year in a passing situation, Josh Smith steps up and makes a huge interception. Saxton kneels again. He'll need one more to put this one on ice.
Case Western, usually throughout the course of a season, team's going to have one dud game or one, I guess just an issue with the team they really shouldn't. And Coach Debelak told you, they're getting their best shot, getting everyone's number one best shot. Case is the top dog in the conference, and people are coming in here looking to knock them off. And Geneva really impressed with them today. They came close, just not able to close it out at the end.
It was a battle in Cleveland this afternoon, but Case, for the second week in a row, narrowly escapes. They defeat Geneva College 30-23 this afternoon, moving to 7-0 overall, 6-0 in the PAC, and they put themselves within one win of a share of the President's Athletic Conference title, and they are within 2 wins of winning the PAC title outright. Case victorious this afternoon at DeSanto Field.